Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to apologize right now if you can hear my loud neighbor because she's on 10,000 right now, unusually. So I apologize for that in advance because you just never know when the outbursts may arise. But I hope that you are doing well, getting ready for the holiday tomorrow if you celebrate it or if you're just relaxing, enjoying the spirit of Thanksgiving in general for life and health and wealth and all things good, as I shall be doing in a very quaint and simple way. At least that's the plan. We shall see. Tomorrow is another day, right? We never know. But here today, it's never too early or too late to give thanks. And I am grateful just to be here in this space with you at this very moment. So let's see what we got. All right. Six of Swords. Okay, that's some moving forward to more calm and peaceful waters from turbulent times, perhaps disruptions mentally, or disturbances even, or just some imbalance perhaps that one may be moving away from and looking forward to the stabilization of in a distant future. Maybe not so distant as in long time from now, but this is a transitional card that some state of mind or state of being is being transitioned from and transformed into some new likeness, i.e. you. So whether it's some way that you're thinking, some way that you're feeling, it's kind of a mix of the two, which our emotions and our thoughts are intertwined anyway, right? But it's a new mindset, I would like to say, for the most part, is what I'm feeling now, that's being projected into the future. And I had that experience just a few moments ago before I turned on this recording, of experiencing myself in a new mindset about something that would want to project otherwise. So transformations are happening all around. We have officially, maybe this is even that, moved from Scorpio season, and today is the first day of Sagittarius season. So happy birthday, Sagittarius, to all of you out there. And right on the cusp is today. Like, you could almost be a little bit Scorpio, a little bit Sag if you have a birthday today by chance. So me saying that is saying that the transition is it's active. You may not feel like you've arrived per se. Maybe some things are still kind of are moving along, or maybe even pending, dare I say, in this moment. Maybe some open-ended resolve to a concern that could put you in an imbalanced emotional state or mental, maybe even worry or doubt or anything like that. But just be rest assured that you're on your way to someplace better, some outcome that is far more desirable than what it may even perceive to be, what it may be perceived to be in this moment. Okay, so no worries, no fears, no frets. Just stay focused on the journey ahead, on the destination ahead of you. In Thanksgiving, mind you, in gratitude. Cultivate the spirit of gratitude for what truly is in this moment, and whatever else that can't be helped. It's like if you're out in the middle of the water, you can't really stress about what you're leaving behind or what you're moving ahead into. You kind of just got to wait and see what lies ahead on the journey, right? You could stress, it's up to you, but what would be the point, really? It's going to be what it's going to be. And the transition is exactly what it is. Yep. And here is the Knight of Wands, which is a traveler in his own right. The Knight of Wands talks about distant movement. And then we got the Ace of Swords. The Knight of Wands, of course, is ambitious and exuberant in his pursuits, You know, and the lower vibration, of course, I can always say maybe over ambitious or a little bit unstable or erratic and things like that. But with the Ace of Swords, I feel a certain grounding with the energy of the Knight of Wands in this regard. You know, in this energy, it's like ambitious about what is true. You know, his passion is grounded by reality in some regard, or what, at least what he knows by his own, by some clear perspective. So it's not just blind ambition per se with the Knight of Wands just flying off the handle, maybe even being incited to some energetic or emotional impulse, as I was just talking about. It's still having an enthusiasm for what lies ahead or whatever the projection ahead may be, but with discernment is what I'm sensing. You know, having a strong vision, a grounded, founded vision for what exactly you are charging into. But then we got the Moon card here, so that's like something even still that's unknown. So perhaps it's like this is the revelation of what is unknown, what's been behind the surface, well, under the surface, behind the scenes. And the Knight of Wands has the ambition to face it, whatever it may be, perhaps even the revelation itself, with confidence, you know, with passion, with an eagerness, with courage, also Knight of Wands energy. I'm just bigging him all the way up today, but it's because of the Ace of Swords here. It kind of adds a different value, a different layer to what could be, as with all the knights. I always say that it just depends, that expression depends on the surrounding cards, the come from. So the Moon is saying that there's still some things, as I said, yet to be uncovered, maybe even to be discovered, maybe to be unveiled or revealed, but not losing enthusiasm and excitement for the journey nonetheless. And certainly just not like almost, you know, the Knight of Wands definitely is a moving energy, but even if you feel stuck, it's almost like you sitting on ready. And with the Six of Swords already having shown its face at the bottom at the beginning, it says that even if you do somehow feel like you're in a stable position, dare I say stuck position, or you're in a position of, it's not really stuck, it's just like I was saying, like when you're in transition on the water, you're not going to jump out and swim the shore. It's like you're going to trust that boat to carry you to your destination. Same as you would do with the spirit. It's like you've done your due diligence. You made sure the boat was safe. You packed all that you needed. You know, maybe you got your life vest on. You got your map. You know where you're headed. You know where you're going. But still, it's going to take some time from the journey through that water, through that transition, to actually get to where you know you're undoubtedly going. And the only thing that you can really do is kind of enjoy the ride. You know, that's the Knight of Wands. He's going to enjoy himself one way or the other, no matter what he's facing. You know, maybe enjoy himself a little bit too much, but with the Ace of Swords, it's like he's keeping a clear head, but he's definitely, like I said, sitting on ready to go at a moment's notice. You know, if it's a charge situation, he's already amped up to move ahead, to mobilize. You know, that's that energy right there. I'm interested in that Moon card though, like what's so secretive? Maybe the clarity is coming. Maybe it's not, like I was saying, like it's not, you have to just kind of wait and see, go along for the ride type of thing. Oh, or maybe not, because the Queen of Cups gets intel before it materializes many times, and then here is a materialization, like a gift of energy, so to speak, perhaps a little token of, a little nugget, a little token of information right here from the divine, or definitely I would say. And then we got the Queen of Wands, that's the energy right there, or the response, the reaction to whatever perhaps the resource is. Interesting. Hold on, let me see something. So we got the Queen of Cups Because I just got stopped in my energy. Like, first of all, let it not be lost that 4 cards down and we have 2 aces, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So that's already big vision, big money, or at least big energy, big opportunity, something right here with this Ace of Pentacles, and clarity and truth right here, big revelations, big vision with the Ace of Swords. So that's there. And we had 2 queens showing their face, 5 cards in. The Queen of Cups, who's very intuitive, emotionally intelligent. So like I was saying, she's one in that boat she's not afraid of the water because she's one with it to some degree. She's one with the spirit, it's particularly her own. So she's not afraid to be surrounded perhaps by even uncomfortable or unfavorable frequencies. You know, the water can be a very mysterious place, especially traveling in that little ass boat they was traveling in. You know, for the average queen, maybe even for the Queen of Wands, who's quite fiery, it might invoke a cause for alarm or at least a bit of anxiety. That's what I'm hearing about what the present moment and the projected moment. Like, what's happening here? Am I okay? Am I going to make it to where I need to go? The Queen of Cups is not that energy. She's secure, she's sound, she's grounded, she's one with spirit. She in a moment of anxiety is able to kind of connect with that frequency and do the due diligence to understand it. So that's kind of the energy of the Queen of Wands, not only to understand it, but perhaps to transmute it into some other productive energy. So not just accepting it at face value, like, oh, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, okay, what does this really mean in real time? Is this of value to me? Is this of value? Is this of truth in this moment? Is there anything that I can do with this frequency that's going to be productive? Queen of Wands, anything I can do, anything I can create from this that's going to be productive. Yay, nay, and moving forward accordingly, okay? And that's interesting that the Ace of Swords and Ace of Pentacles are kind of embracing, almost like protecting the Queen of Cups. It's just saying that if perhaps even you know, are, as I said, at an impasse or a junction of maybe even a crossroads of sorts, of something that seems urgent, or that you just have an eagerness to want to come to a resolve, whether it be internally or externally, you okay. Be at ease, just stay comforted by your memory, your energetic memory, the psyche of truth that resonates with you, to know that you've been in deep waters before and there's nothing really all that scary about it, in truth, that it's just as much a part of you as you are a part of it, and that there's a source that's guiding all forces, you know, the water included, you know, if you feel me, that all things are kind of happening in universal order as they're destined to do so. So all you got to do also is just to be sitting on ready. Now, then the Queen of Wands, this is an energy waiting to receive the intel or the signal, like, okay, now this is what I do. Like the Knight of Wands, he might be pacing, you know, he might be like, you know, running the horse around the kingdom grounds. The Queen of Wands is like settled, just as the Queen of Cups is settled. The Queen of Cups is sifting through her emotional intel and taking what of it is valuable. The Queen of Wands is transmuting that information into action items, you know, like, okay, when I know it's time to make a move or do something or respond or react accordingly, she's on it. She's ready to go for it, okay? And perhaps even in the exuberance of the Knight of Wands, and excitement and fearlessness, like still not missing that masculine force of proactivity as needed. But yeah, that was the Two of Wands, plan already in action, already in motion, you know, not just allowing it to unfold, pretty much, you know. So let's see what else we got. But Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles is something big on the horizon. Whoa, then we got the Empress. Yeah, like completely in control, self-control, and even control of the aspects of her environment that are under her jurisdiction, responsible, accountable for her actions, for what she's creating in spirit and in truth, what she's responding to in real time is the Empress, like very intentional about the energy that she expels or that she allows um, to be expended, or that she allows to be invested within her kingdom or her energetic field. Yeah, and this is the Two of Cups here, like very careful. Two of Cups really almost gives me Queen of Cups energy. So this is someone that's not allowing too much interference emotionally, otherwise. Very, again, intentional about the alignments and commitments, and even I would say communication, but something else like the attachments that she's allowing to take precedence, to operate in her energetic force field, like not connecting with other people, being very selective. That's what the Empress is as well. Very selective about her agreements, her contracts, even what she's considering to be a viable source of connection or partnership at this time. And this could be just simply communicatively, or it could actually be intimately or platonically or professionally. It could be any which way, but there being something very sensitive right now, delicate, I would say, more than sensitive, something very delicate that's underway right now. Not because, because the Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles says that it's already done. So it's not delicate by way of its projected manifestation or crystallization. It's already, but to stay in the vibration of reception, also as the Queen of Wands, very magnetic, attractive queen, creating from her projections even more so than her actions, keeping that vibration of passion, pure passion though, and keeping a vibration of peace with the Queen of Cups. That's like the delicacy of it all. That again, going back to that Six of Swords, traveling across those waters where you're transitioning. The boat is still maybe a little bit rocky, but you see the peace ahead. You see that, as the waves are calming, just with every knot you make across that shore, across those waters, that it's getting a little bit less turbulent. Things are coming to a little bit more of a settlement, a resolve, a closure as you're continuing on, even though there's still a little bit of the angst of the transitional time, but knowing that you're already in motion, that you can actually visualize the end result one way or the other. So there's really no need to, you could consider the adverse of this, that you could go into panic because the boat is rocking a bit and actually throw you, knock yourself out into the water, just on account of the water just doing what it does, instead of going with the current, with the flow, trusting spirit, trusting the process, trusting the journey, keeping your eyes focused in excitement and passion and self-control and truth and expectation, eager expectation for something divine to await you, as a matter of fact, and careful and mindful all along the way of just keeping your own force, what's the right word, tempered. That's what this energy is giving me, like keeping your own emotions tempered, like I said, because you're going that way anyway, and it's already waiting for you. Whatever it is, when you get there, it's already done, whatever the anticipation is. And it could only be you at this point that could literally knock yourself out the water and delay the destination beyond this point, delay the arrival. So just stay focused. I don't think I can say that enough. I don't know why I'm saying that. I really don't. Like I know my situation, but it ain't that damn deep. Like like it is, but it isn't, you know. So I mean it is, but that's just where I am with it. It isn't, you know, because I'm the sort of truth is mine, and I am definitely a peaceful passenger along this journey for sure. Like, okay, temperance. Thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. Tempered emotions. Like, there is alchemy and manifestation in the works right now, actively, and nothing earthbound is going to delay that Knight of Pentacles any more than it already has seemed to have been delayed, which there's that. But it's like I'm getting the sense that even that is illusionary. You know, the truth of the matter is that it's right on time. Right on time. Whether it's a thing coming to you or you traveling to it, whatever the connection is, the arrival, so to speak, may be, the opportunity that materializes, crystallizes. This is the action, the embarkment of that journey with the Page of Wands. This is literally taking that step onto dry land, perhaps for the first time in a new destination, in a new place, having traveled a great distance, perhaps for a long time, you know, maybe incurred, as I said, what felt like delays, but all along the way, you allowed your energy to be tempered so that there may have been moments of disappointment. Even now, when there's might be eagerness and great anticipation, and maybe even, dare I say, a little bit of angst, you know, but it's like, okay, I'm good. Got that 1 foot on land, 1 foot on water. And even if you're holistically in the water, it's like your energy is still grounded. That's what the temperance is representing. Being able to stay patient with the alchemization of your reality as it's being manifested from a spiritual force into a physical plane. Takes a lot of patience. And it's, to me, this is saying that you've already exhibited that. And that's why the Page of Wands is here, because this is like fresh start. You know, this is literally the action, the you know, where the Knight of Wands was ready to go. This is the journey, the destination that he was looking forward to. You know, even though it seems like it's a bit of a step back from the Knight to the Page, but it's just a new experience, one that perhaps has never even been had before. Maybe even experiencing yourself as more patient, more tempered, more balanced, more at peace than you normally would be under similar circumstances. Even that's a new experience of self that is good news, because that's the energy that you're going to want to have moving forward. Yeah, I'm seeing this Emperor under here, and I can't ignore him. Ultimate control over yourself, in not just the reactive sense and the reproductive sense with the Empress, but also in the proactive sense and the productive sense. You know, having total control over your creativity, even in a new land or as an expression of a new creature, i.e. as yourself. You know, not being afraid. The Emperor is definitely not afraid. He knows that he has all the power and authority to bust moves wherever they need to be bust. You know, the Empress may be a little bit more responsive and reactive, but still powerful in her own right, no doubt. But the Emperor here, it's like almost the energy that you didn't even know you had, that's kind of been tucked away to pull out just for the occasion of this new experience. And not to say that you embark upon this new path like trying to take it over and control every aspect, but it really is speaking more to the self-control that you have shown and proved up until this point to even be afforded the opportunity for a new journey. Like, you've already expressed yourself to be all powerful and courageous as the Emperor is, and responsible, you know, all of these high powered frequencies that put you in the perfect alignment to take all of that wisdom and now start this journey, which may feel like something almost foreign to you, literally in a foreign land, even perhaps, but it's something that not only do you have the internal grounding and facility to manage, but you have celestial support as well. You know, if that makes sense. Literally, celestial support with the Temperance card. They're literally, I'm promising you, if there's any anxiety about anything, let me reassure you that you are safe and secure. That's one thing I can say. No matter what may emerge, you know, this might even be a memory of something that comes up, I would say, yeah, that would try to maybe even distract you from the inevitable new beginning that is here. Yeah, to incite you to some impulsive response or activity that could throw things off balance, I would say, with the Knight of Swords here. Like, definitely be ambitious about moving in the way of wisdom and truth, as would be the upside of the Knight of Swords. But don't be distracted by, don't feel incited by projections otherwise, especially not past projections, as indicated here with the Six of Cups, to do anything out of character and in the character that you've been cultivating up until this point. You know, this is like an incitement to do something that you would normally do, respond how you would normally respond under tense circumstances or under pressure or whatever the case may be. This is like reverting back to those energies that are just familiar, like to get frantic or to get nervous or to be fearful or, you know, to do something impulsive or sporadic or whatever. But look, Chariot card, you protected. This is supreme protection right here. You're guided. You're being guided to safety and security. Sometimes I can even see this as Archangel Michael, and then we got the Star card. So I'm saying that let the battle belong to who it belongs to. And right now, the battle really is more in the spirit than it is in the natural. That just is what it is. We can be incited to want to pick up our weapons and fight the elements as they're being positioned toward us in the physical form, but that's really more of almost like a diversion from what's going on celestially, of which is already won. As I've said, it's already handled. Archangel Michael got the Ace of Swords if nobody else does. The Ace of Pentacles comes from the divine bank, you know, which they never run dry and never will. So it's like, let the heavens take care of heaven's business. You know, you just stay focused on, again, what you can do, how you're transitioning through this journey, protecting your emotional and energetic intelligence along the way as best that you can. Again, staying connected to the right things. Yeah, the right things, not being finessed otherwise, you know, by emotional attachments that may be immediately gratifying with this Knight of Cups. Like I said, back to the nostalgia, it's almost like it almost sometimes feels safe to worry. It feels secure to be anxious. It feels, you know, if you feel like you're actively doing something, but you're really not. You're just adding more turbulence and more disturbance to the current, as it is literally that water current of emotion. And that ain't going to do nothing but rock the boat. So focus on that journey. You're already there is what I'm feeling. Like, you're literally already there. It just doesn't, it's like everything is trying to project otherwise because of your arrival. You know, it's like one last ditch effort to make you feel like you got a long way to go. No Cassie. Definitely no Cassie right now. Or maybe all Cassie, shoot, like how she laughing to the bank, right? But not laughing at all. I'm not making light of that because she ain't laughing. If all that what she said is true, ain't nothing funny about that. But side note, I remember saying that a surviving Diddy was on his way any day now, some time ago in a message. So there's that. There's going to be more to come on that. I can feel it. All right, so let's see what else we got. Yeah, he's holding on to every bit of resource he got, especially having to, or at least projecting that he's about to make this big payout. I hope she gets her money, but definitely holding on to whatever relevance he still has, his reputation, because there may be more lovers to surface to say, she might just be the catalyst. Like, you know what? If Cassie can do it, I can too. And you ain't gonna be able to pay everybody off now. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Eventually, you're gonna have to answer for them skeletons, baby. But anyway, Four of Pentacles is like holding on to material resources. It could also be conservatism, like being conservative with your energy, your time, again, in the highest vibration, just staying in alignment with your most supreme self, your highest mind, not expending a lot of energy, maybe even actually until this transition is successfully made, but not in a lack mentality. This is just being mindful of what you're expending. But even still, even though it is Pentacle energy, I don't see it as much as in a physical sense or a material sense as I do in time and energy. Even attention to what you're offering your attention to at this time, or investing your attention in. Me even getting sidetracked talking about Diddy. He ain't got nothing to do with this message. So, be mindful what you allow yourself to be distracted by, because everything is an enemy of the state of your peace at this time. If you allow it to be, if you allow it to infiltrate your space. Of course, the adverse of this is being too fixated on what you have to measure yourself by materially, money in the bank, holding on to assets in a physical form that really, may even be causing more burden than blessing at this time, or just have expired. Whether you be your presence in them or their presence with you has expired in some way, shape, or form, but maybe still just holding on to it as some, I don't know, like some, what do you call it? Like signifier of value to you, or stability or security. Yeah, it's like almost false security. It's crossover time, so things you may be releasing security in the more conventional sense for something that is far more eternal and sustaining even. Yeah, look what we got here. Exactly. It's like don't hold on to the four when you finna be the queen and the king, literally the kingpin, the queen pin here, and true wish fulfillment, emotional satisfaction. Like you're trading in your coins for something far more priceless and invaluable at this time. And sometimes that transition alone is hard to be content with, or to find ease in that movement, because we like our houses, we like our money, we like our clothes, we like our jobs, we like our cars, we like all those things that give us comfort and that make us feel stable and secure in this very material world. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just saying that the Ace of Pentacles is leading the top row. So there's already something that's beyond what you could ever manifest in a material sense, or manipulate even otherwise, let alone to save or hold on to. Like there's nothing that you could attract that would be of greater value than what the divine has for you, and how that's going to put you in a position of autonomy, perhaps financially, materially, even in prestige and power, but definitely stability, because we did have the Empress and the Emperor peek his head out. And it's interesting that the men are in this deck. What's up with the men, the high-powered men? Because this is a high-value man. The Emperor is a high-powered man. The women are out here sitting on like sitting ducks. And it's like the men, maybe that's what the moon card is. It's like the unveiling of the masculine presence within. And we had the Lover's card. It's like, I can definitely speak to this for sure as the feminine energy that I've been doing the damn thing energetically. I don't know about you, but certainly feminines have been very persistent. I would say perhaps even leading the charge for real, in the way of healing and stabilizing their energetic force and positioning themselves for power and prestige and ascendance and exaltation, and really just doing it. It's very prevalent for the feminine energy right now. Prominence has been very prevalent for feminine energy, even in the social sphere and popular projection, but certainly within, I'm sure, your own intimate life. You're surrounded by a whole lot of women that have been bossing up or inspired by a great deal of them, that are bossing up, and you probably are too, if you can relate to this message. And it's like this masculine he's under the deck, and that's where the moon card was. It's like maybe they've been healing. That's what it was, because moon energy can also be that motherly energy, nurturing what's been going on behind the scenes, unbeknownst to perhaps us feminines. Whether you're in a relationship, Two of Cups came out too, and here it is, the Six of Cups, that invitation to heal past wounds, past cycles even, and to experience yourself as something altogether new in a new energetic form. Maybe that's the big secret to be unveiled, is that counterparts, like I said, whether this is something, a potential projection of a new partnership on the horizon that's emerging, or that you're already in a partnership and you may be surprised, wake up one day and you like, who did I wake up to? Who did I marry? Who is this man? He's doing stuff you never did before, saying stuff you never heard before. Like, everybody's elevating. It's just the feminine energy has been so much more pronounced, perhaps because we've been denounced and pressed down for so long that the emergence is almost like a combustion, like female power out here, or whatever we say, like, I am woman, hear me roar type of energy. But unbeknownst to perhaps even us to some degree, or not in the totality of its evolution or its transition, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the masculine energy's been doing his thing too, in his own right. He's been healing. He's been coming to terms with certain truths about himself, reconciling perhaps with past cycles and past experiences, finding value in the lessons that he's learned on account of it, being excited about what he's learning, perhaps finding new value in himself and his gifts, literally with the King of Pentacles, and what he has to offer and bring to the table, of course, on account of all this healing, and not just from a material aspect anymore, as it has been before, where it often is, not that it's not valued, because it is, but where often men are more fixated on what they have to offer measurably, physically, than they are perhaps emotionally, which is the expression here with the Nine of Cups. This is a masculine that is satisfied, that's fulfilled in his own emotional well-being and groundedness, and that is in a posture to reciprocate healthily. That's this energy here, literally taking a journey that perhaps never has been taken before. It's one thing to get a hold on yourself, maybe even your finances, maybe even get your impulses under control, maybe even get your mind right. But for a masculine, it's a whole nother vibration to be ready to love, to be love, and to give love, balanced, equal, and true. That's a whole nother ball game going on here. And perhaps that is the big gift in itself, and like I said, that's the big revelation to be revealed with that moon card, that will bring healing to both dualities. Surely, certainly, I'm not taking that. The Lover's card is an indication of that, you know. So we're both taking this journey together. And then the Six of Swords is actually masculine, feminine, and child in that boat together, you know, moving ahead to some peaceful waters. And that's definitely insinuating that what's being done on for both dualities is ultimately going to affect the generations, you know, or those that are more impressionable in their maturation. Maybe even perhaps your own children if you're married and you and hubby start living on a new frequency. That's going to make a great impression on your kids in ways that you probably didn't even know they were paying attention. To see mom and dad love a little bit more, support each other verbally, physically, energetically, a little bit differently. That impression is lasting on the pupils. I mean that literally and figuratively. So let's see what we got here. Come on, I don't want my incense to run out before I finish up. So I'll probably take one more on this row and then do one more row and then we out. Or maybe should I stop? We'll see. Let's see where we end and I'll see how I feel. Can I get one more spirit? Just one more? Be nice not to OD on time for once, right? I know y'all be looking at that timer like an hour and 20 minutes. What the hell is you talking about? So I'm so grateful for those that watch to the end. You are much appreciated. And I pray that whatever you receive on the front end, you is multiplied in dividends on the back end for sure. And that was the High Priestess. So I hope that energy transfers and transmits accordingly. All right, can I get one more? Just one more. I don't want all them cards. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, no, he didn't. You know what? And perhaps that's the current of the energy. Yeah, but look, it's already defeated. It's the Five of Swords. Like, I'm not even compelled with the 10. Oh, and the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, this is already destiny driven. It's already written. Anything else that presents itself as an illusion at this time. Anything that presents itself to be an interference, a distraction, a disruption, an obstruction, a blockage, is just not so. Hierophant is here. That's God energy present within you as I'm seeing it, but it could also be the presence of these energetic forces in the physical form that want to play God, you know, want to manipulate energy in real time, in material time, to impose the illusion of delay, as we've already talked about it, or the illusion of even defeat from what's already been written. This is like destiny. You can't change what's already been determined by the divine. Like, the nerve of anybody to even think that they can is beyond me. It's like they've been deluded by their own illusions at this point, because at some point in time, yeah, world card, it's over. We're moving on. New cycles, new experiences. This is the ultimate fresh new beginning right here. Moving forward in truth, like not accepting no wooden nickels with the Queen of Swords, literally, no false illusions, no illusions, period, you know, are going to be accepted on this journey, because we just have too much ground to cover at this point, you know, and the destination awaits us at this point, whatever that culmination or finality may be. You know, it's like it's been put off for too long as is. Yeah, this is the end of delay is what I'm feeling, and perhaps maybe even the end of singlehood, I would say. But it's the end of these energies that I'm speaking of. Yeah, with the High Priestess, it's like whatever has been killed is been meant to be laid to rest, and now is the time of resurrection. You know, this is the rebirth that we're experiencing on the other end of this new world evolution of emergence as, oh, and look, oh yes, this is that. This is definitely that, because these are the counterparts here that I was speaking of, the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. They're more or less in the same vibration, like almost a mirror reflection of each other. Now he's a little bit elevated in this regard, and maybe I'll get into that if I feel like it, but it's not really necessary to say, because I think the reason why she might be down here is because the almost like the expectation, like I was saying earlier, that's what it is. Like this feminine energy's been healing, been focusing on the divine, been focusing on how to cultivate independence and spirit and in truth, and security and stability in her own right. That's already been a focus, and it's like it's been so much of a focus that it's almost kind of been like, how do I say it? Like you don't even expect much else, like a depreciation and an expectation for partnership, or for that vibrational match to meet you in the masculine form, whether it be feminine, masculine, it's energy here, but that mirror image of you, that attractive force of which you've been surging yourself for all along. As I've said, it's been in such delay at this point that even if you are in a relationship, maybe even it's been a struggle to see eye to eye, or for both of you to kind of catch up to one another's evolution, or just be on the same page energetically or emotionally, or to have a pure synergy one to another. And you almost have, and I'm saying whether you're in a relationship, because that's an aspect I don't speak about a lot. Everybody's not awaiting a new relationship or in expectation for partnership as if it isn't already a reality. But I'm saying that to say that there is an opportunity for ascension even in what's existing, in this regard, where some things are being laid to rest. And like I said, you might wake up and feel like you got a whole new mate, maybe the mate of your dreams with the Nine of Cups here, like who you really always desired to have and even be in partnership, who now you feel like you have the space to be because you have the acceptance to express it. That synergy there, as in the Lover's card, just in a lesser form between these two energies here. But I know it's on two different levels for a reason, because the feminine been dying, been, having deaths and rebirths spiritually so for a long time, maybe lifetimes of just trying to wake up and do it better the next time, and still being met with that same patriarchal force that isn't quite open to receiving the fullness of her vitality. So she almost deferred to more of a material exuberance and expression, because perhaps it was even safer and more secure to do that than to be, as with the Queen of Cups, almost succumb by her emotions or swallowed whole by them, or just them not being validated in the expression at all. So there's the flip-flop here, where masculine in his healing has learned to be more emotionally grounded and available, and feminine has learned how to be more materially grounded and secure. And now their evolutions and transformations in either regard come together to make a much better united force. And as I said, that's happening if you've been in the market for new love, or not really in the market at all, because like I said, Nine of Pentacles, she's not really looking, she's just being the attractive force that she is. Whether someone is coming or not, she's going to be who she is. And even with the masculine energy, he's not necessarily looking to pour out drink the next cup that comes his way, perhaps either, but he's in a position to be ready and available and open to the exchange. Whereas though that was not necessarily the case before, even the feminine was probably a bit more desperate and eager in her pursuits and her advancements than she ought to have been, being the one that should have been more receptive to the exchange, and the masculine more proactive from my perspective. That's just how I look at it, but you do what you do, what works for you. So like I said, it's like even within existing commitments or contracts, or have perhaps regenerated commitments and past life loves and such as that, or just familiar love. It's not quite, it's familiar in the sense that it's comfortable, but it's not with all the past toxicity and trauma. The thing that the energies that don't suit, that don't satisfy, that aren't forwarding, it's like devoid of all of that. The energies that I talked about in the adverse with these two, where they're coming to the table almost a little bit depleted to start, and almost codependent to need each other to feel complete. This is the wholeness of beings that recognize themselves to be so, just as they are even in a singular solo form, and are just open for the magnification of union, non-existent or pre-existent or already existent, not being needy unto your partner to validate you. You find it in your own frequency, finding things that you love to do, or making up for what you feel you're void of receiving in the other person by giving it to yourself, and balancing your expectations there first. And that almost being the thing that may in fact change your partner to see like, oh, she ain't even thinking about me. Well, babe, what you doing over there? You know what I mean? Like, that's the draw in between masculine and feminine energy, whether woman or man, man, woman, whatever, however you see it, however you engage it, is that dance, that balancing act that has been very imbalanced for quite some time, because the current of our emotional state, masculine and feminine, has been distorted. It's been in disorder. It's been disturbed by what? These energetic forces right here. Fear, fear of judgment, fear of of loss, even fear of all sorts. You can literally tag anything to that. Fear of love even itself, which is more a fear of intimacy or being seen by someone, or fear of being misunderstood or not valued. All of that wrapped up into this devil card right here, which tries to rear its ugly head yet again, just when you're in that moment, crossing over into that new you, maybe perhaps to that new boo, or with that new boo, doing that thing that y'all do. It's like, hey, remember me? Literally waving his hand. Remember me, insecurity? Remember me, fear of abandonment? Remember me, fear of loss? Remember me, fear of being misunderstood, or whatever, all the different things that you could say about that. It wants to peek up just in the nick of time, last ditch effort to try to reel you back into some limitation or distraction, dare I say just outright lie and illusion about yourself, your possibilities, what you're worthy of, what you're capable of, and what you're worthy to receive at this point in time. It's already done. The only thing that we don't see, and that was the Ace of Wands, is the Ace of Cups. But we did see the 10 of, that's too many, I'm not taking that. Justice in the Sun, though, love that. Just one more, and for real, I'm out. Oh, that was the Ace of Cups, too. Just one more, Spirit, please. Let's just close this out. And perhaps that's also what you don't see coming, because you haven't really, it's like when you see the clouds ahead, like today it's been cloudy all day. It even rained. Was it raining earlier today? A little bit. For a little bit it did. It's like you see the clouds forming up ahead. Even when you're in the water, you see it's that precipitation, you're in the deep depths of it. But there's still the materialization that gets to be, It's surrounding you. It's all around you. It's all about you. But it just hasn't quite consumed you yet. And that can seem like a very daunting projection, right? Especially when you feel out in the middle of the deep in a little canoe, little old you. But here's the moon card again. Here is the moon, and here's the King of Cups, counterpart to the Queen, willing to take that deep dive, and as I said, doing the healing work. I actually love to see it. It's what you don't know that you're actually about to journey right on into something deep and emotional. That's what the moon energy is. Cancer energy, or even Pisces too, I would say. Either one of those, it could even be any water sign, but definitely Pisces or Cancer is when you could find yourself in an uncomfortable emotional space. But given the expression of the King of Cups and having started with the Queen of Cups, and I love that this comes out, that I love this. This is amazing. I'm not even catching the vibe as it's materializing. Remember I said the surprise may be that masculine's been healing too under the deck when the moon first came up. And it's like, this is the emergence of him healed, ready to love, ready to express. Remember I said ready to give and receive love purely in a healed way. Now the moon energy, I feel like, is more the mystique of it all, because sometimes the moon can give a negative connotation because it's so unknown and mysterious. But I feel like it's the expression of the masculine energy, perhaps being a surprise emergence, of just not just the fact that he's healed and ready to love, but how much so. It's like the emergence of a loving being that you didn't even know he had the capacity to be. Again, whether this is the man that you went to sleep with last night and woke up and he's somebody completely different, or this is the man of your dreams finally, after what seems a hell of a long ass time, coming to offer you this cup with the Two of Cups and in the Nine of Cups energy, with the exuberance of the Knight of Wands, excited, ambitious, maybe even a little bit hot under the collar, if you know what I mean, but grounded though, because I was sure to say that in the beginning, not lustful, not over ambitious, not just, looking to be here for a good time, but not a long time. This is somebody that's been stabilized in their energetic expression of love, and their emotional expression of love, and their willingness to receive, and their availability to express. Like that's important, of emotional availability, and even intelligence, dare I say, as the Queen of Cups is emotionally intelligent. Certainly the King of Cups is, for sure. And the only caveat is that sometimes he may not, that's the moon card. Sometimes they don't express all that they're experiencing. The Queen of Cups is far more expressive because that's just what we do in feminine energy, right? The King of Cups feels deep as hell, feels a hell of a lot. Very strong, powerful, deep emotions, but may not be as fluid in how he releases them or how he expresses them, at least verbally so. You may perceive it in other ways, in other love languages, maybe not words of affirmation, if you're necessarily looking for it that way. So I feel like the mystique of it all is to maybe open your heart to perceive the change in the expression of how love itself, whether it be in a human form or just in life in general, is starting to materialize and crystallize in ways that you never have seen it before, but you've been going about business as usual, perhaps even in the what's the right word, like being so consumed with your healing in your own regard, as you should be and should have been, that you didn't even realize how love was just springing up all around you, or how maybe even you have been making more of an impression and an inspiration in that regard than you realized. Now it's like your turn to receive. This is a man sitting here just waiting to pour this cup of love up, waiting to share it with someone special. And he may not have all the right words to express his desire. He may not always do the right thing. He may not always have the perfect timing in his connectivity, but one thing's for sure is the love is pure. Bars. And you can count on that. And so in that journey, as like I said, you're moving across those waters where you've been used to it being a disappointment emotionally or energetically or in love in general, relationally. You've been used to there not being reciprocity in the depth of what you feel and what you're willing to release and express and what you're receiving in return. You've been accustomed to certain turbulent waters, just not quite feeling at peace with who you are emotionally as just a natural loving being and feeling secure and sound, literally secure and sound to express that without inhibition. That is over. You are literally moving to a calm and peaceful shore where the whole of you is to be loved and appreciated at face value, let alone at the very depths of what you have to offer. You don't have to recondition yourself any other way except for the way of healing and wholeness that you've already been fixated on. Like you've already been obsessed in that regard, completely self-consumed in some regard. And this is almost the reward, like I said, you had set the plan in place. When you were internal in your own evolution and your own in your own self-love, that's how you became the vibrational match for what you were deserving of all along. You gave it to yourself, which I already kind of spoke on as well. So it's like this is what's here. Yeah, like this energy here, I'm just go out on a limb. This is somebody that just missed out. Like they looking at this King of Cups like, damn, I wish I had my shit together. This is somebody that wasn't willing to heal, that wasn't willing to take a step out into those deep waters, wasn't willing to love himself, wasn't willing to reflect upon his past actions with wisdom, with truth, with honor, with accountability and responsibility. This is someone that was maybe perhaps even feeling sorry for himself or feeling victimized in some way on account of what was experienced, when we've all had some unfavorable experiences in life in general, but certainly in love, because love is just that type of risk that when you take it, you just never know what it's going to return. So it's always a toss-up. No one in this world can say that at every single gamble they've ever made in love, they've always fared out a winner. Even though you can take the experience and transmute it into something that is a winning mentality or that has value, we've all had some misstep or something that we've experienced that's been less than favorable. And this is the difference between someone that allowed himself to be a victim to his circumstances, even the ones that he may have even created for himself, and someone that allowed himself to be victorious in spite of, that didn't give up on love, didn't give up on the possibility of being appreciated for who he is, didn't give up on finding the way to, as a masculine energy, to really accept his emotional side, his emotional being, and not be afraid of it, and even finding the balance in a way that not rejecting it, but also not being overly consumed by it either, because there's that aspect as well that is almost just as detrimental as a man who's not willing to show any emotion at all. Finding a happy medium and a balance, healthy, whole, healed. As I said, the mystique of it all is that masculine been healing and doing his thing in his own right, maybe perhaps having been a wounded warrior in many regards, but transcending and ascending beyond the turmoil and toxicity, perhaps even of past life cycles, as he's also had an experience in and with, and just past life cycles, and past seasons, even in this lifetime, that have been less than favorable, and still finding the courage to be his most supreme self in the most supreme source that there is, and that is in spirit. In spirit and in truth, that is what it is, the source of what all comes from. So we don't even really need the Ace of Cups, although that would just pretty much solidify that this is an anointed expectation that is underway, wherever it is. But I mean, consider if you're traveling in a body of water, such as a lake, or ocean, or whatever that Six of Swords may be, it's beyond cup now. Like, you are literally, as I said, becoming one with the body of the spirit, one with the essence of spirit in human form. That's the exchange there. Forget the cup. That's almost a containment in itself. You have become the expression, the embodiment of that life force. And that's far more powerful at this point in time than anything that you could contain it or measure it to be otherwise. You are love. It is love. He is love. Whatever he, she, it is to you. The expression of love being the highest form of creativity is what is inevitable in whatever this transition may be that you're already in the midst of, in the process of. So just trust it. Just go with the flow. Don't be afraid. Keep your eye on that distant shore that is materializing more and more as you continue to have the courage to keep on going, no matter what life experiences may arise around you, no matter how much the boat may shake or rock, no matter day or night, sun comes up, goes down. Let your expectations be pure and all the same, that you are in fact crossing over into a promised land of passion beyond your wildest expectations. In spirit and in truth, it is so, and so it is. All right. Until next time, I'll probably pop in at some point tomorrow, but for sure, have a wonderful holiday as you celebrate or enjoy yourself and rest, or doing whatever you do. Eat something good, or I don't know, however you choose to celebrate and acknowledge the day tomorrow. Let it be with grace and gratitude for this energy, this potential projection alone, that something amazing is definitely already is, so give thanks, be in celebration now of nothing else but for that reality. That's enough to have a holiday for. All right. So until next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.